Alright viewers, welcome back to the DCS World video. Today we are back in the Phantom, learning how to use the AGM-65 Maverick. This tutorial will apply to all variants, however we will be focusing on the AGM-65G today, which is the same as the AGM-65D, although this is a bigger warhead meant for taking out ships and bunkers. So let's get started. First things first, you'll want to set the mode selector to direct, set the weapon select to TV, and then select the pylons with the Mavericks. Mavericks only go on the inner pylons on the wings. Then master arm on, and select the TV sensor on the which is this called? Yep, the DSCG screen mode. That's what it's called. I can't remember. Next, go to air to ground and set 37 degrees of depression to bore sight. The sight to the Mavericks. There we go, that's all set. Next, so when you select the Mavericks and select them on here, a 3-minute warm-up time must occur if you're in a cold jet. Since this jet was spawned hot, we don't have to wait for that, so we'll just use the gun trigger to blow off the protective cap, and there we have video now. So what I want to do now is hold the refueling but what's it called? The keyboard's called. Give me a second. There we go, the AER release button. There we go. So let's do that. So you can see now, as we're holding the AER release button, it allows us to slew the Mavericks. So we'll release that, and that will put the Mavericks. So if we press the gun trigger to its D10, that will slave the Mavericks back to the bore site. So let's find the ship we're after. It should be, there we go, right there. So let's pitch the nose down a bit. I'll make sure to trim the aircraft out. Okay, so you can see now the missile is bore sight because we can put the gun sight on the ship, and the boat is there in the Maverick. So you can use it ways. Either you can fly the plane and just use that in the Maverick, or if you are particularly steady with like nice trim or not, you can do it by just having the Maverick, you slew the Maverick if your plane's nice and trimmed. Of course, since this is a hot start, I haven't really trimmed out. I'm just lock it from active bars. But of course, in a real machine, I'm able to do this. So I'll hold the AER release and slew the Maverick down. You can also use the gun trigger to zoom in the Maverick display. So once the target is once the crosshair is over the target, you release the AER switch. Okay. That should be a lock, I think, because the ship might be short. Let's do it again. Okay, I think that's a lock. Okay. Okay, now we do not use the gun trigger. That will bore sight the Maverick back. We use the weapon release button, so let's fire the Maverick. Rifle. Okay, let's do it again. Hold it. We'll show it being fired from the move this time. Okay, let's get the Maverick on. See how difficult this is. There we go. Oh, I did the wrong thing there. That's why I don't use the gun trigger. Rifle. There we go, that's gonna, they're both tracking, I believe. Let's see if those hit. There we go, that's the first one hit, and second one should hit in a second. There we go, 2 hits. So there you go. The range for the Mavericks is about 10 miles, I think, from like high altitude if you're in a dive. It depends on the variant, of course. I think the earlier Mavericks, they're not going to go as far, because they're TV guided, so you're not going to be able to lock as easy as with those. Honestly, the missile range of these things from a good altitude and like a dive is honestly just as far as you can lock a target from usually. The Mavericks do have a good range, honestly. So yeah, that is simply how to use the AGM-65 Maverick in the Phantom. You can do all of what I've done in the front seat and the back seat, apart from firing. To my knowledge, firing consent is always given by the pilot for Mavericks. The backseater cannot fire them. However, the backseater can lock them. But I'm not sure why you do that. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope you have a wonderful rest of your day. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to the Patreon, TikTok, and YouTube. Links are below in the description as always. Shark31 signing off.